Okay, hello and welcome to tyntec's WhatsApp Business API webinar. My name's Ashley Quirk, and I'm a Marketing Operations Manager here at tyntec. I've been working with tyntec for nearly a year and a half now, and I'm mainly working with enterprises with onboarding and getting them started with the API. My presentation guest today is Stephanie Visman, Vice President of Digital and Growth here at tyntec. Stephanie, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hi, hello. Looking very forward to showing you WhatsApp and all the awesome possibilities.
Great, so let's get started. So tyntec has been in the telecommunications industry for over 17 years. We mainly specialize in communications APIs and more specifically with SMS, chat messaging, and two-factor authentication. We have a very close relationship with Facebook, and we communicate with them on a daily basis on behalf of our customers to ensure the best possible support. The main purpose of this webinar is to give you the background needed to begin using WhatsApp in your communications. Now, if you have any questions, we're going to answer them at the end of the presentation. With the webinar, how it will work is that everyone is going to be muted, but you can still ask your questions in the side toolbar. First, I'm going to give you a short introduction of tyntec and the WhatsApp Business API, and then later on, we're going to get into the specifics about the conversation dynamics and integration possibilities of the WhatsApp Business solution. Don't worry, a copy of this presentation will be sent to you afterwards, so you can review the material that I show you today in your own time. As you might already know, WhatsApp is the largest chat app globally, with over 1 billion daily active users. The API allows businesses to communicate with their customers the same way that we chat today with our friends and family through the app. Having access to the largest communication platform is going to really help improve your communications overall and simplify your customer journey. So there are two ways that you can connect to WhatsApp: the WhatsApp Business app and the API. The app is really for small businesses like cafes, as it is limited to only one device per usage, and this is used manually. Today, we're going to be discussing the API. So if you plan to have hundreds or even thousands of interactions, the API is going to be definitely the right way to go. You can integrate the API into your system like a CRM, a contact center, and all of your customer support agents can reply on behalf of your brand to your entire customer base. So there are three main use cases that companies can implement the API, and these are for customer service. So you can make it easy for your customers to get in touch with you, and you can provide guidance to them while they complete their customer journey. You can also keep your customers retained with product reviews and updates about products that are back in stock. Also, you can provide alerts and notifications. This would be with company or product changes, shipping alerts, payment confirmations, and even full shopping cart notifications. And also, you can use WhatsApp for authentication purposes. This would be the 6-digit PIN code that they would receive for 2FA. This just keeps your company secure as well as your customers. Now that you know these three main use cases, I'd like to walk you through some of our highlighted success stories from our customers. The first one that I would like to share with you today is from Globe Air. Globe Air is a private jet charter in Europe, and they have been able to use WhatsApp for travel bookings and customer care. So from availability checking and pricing information to booking and payment processing notifications, such as with delays, weather updates, and even some other special assistance notifications. And they've even taken it one step further by offering post-booking services and satisfaction feedback. This enabled Globe Air to take care of their entire customer journey, all through using WhatsApp. After integrating the API, Globe Air experienced a 225% faster customer service from answering inquiries faster, and this ultimately led them to be able to handle more customers. They also have had a 20% higher booking conversions. So faster communication for Globe Air turned more leads into more customer bookings. Source One is an innovative polymer supplier for plastic manufacturers. By providing personalized updates such as payment and credit card transactions and delivery notifications right on WhatsApp, Source One radically reduced the time and effort it takes for the manufacturers to source the raw materials that they need on a daily basis. After the API integration, Source One benefited with a 30% increase in overall sales, as well as a 99.4 time reduction to complete a customer order. tyntec Plantino is a financial services provider in Argentina. They offer consumer credit cards and loans. With 23 offices in the region, the company allows their customers to easily access all services in its brand offices and online, providing different financing options through its 7,500 affiliated stores. WhatsApp is being used by almost all of their customers on a daily basis, and within 2 months of the launch, 45% of tyntec Plantino's customers already opted in to receive their account statements on WhatsApp, and this is growing approximately 10% month over month. So WhatsApp quickly became the customer's most preferred way of receiving their account statements, showing 200% more opt-ins compared to email in just 2 months. So here are some more market statistics and numbers from our customers that I would also like to share with you today. So we collected data from our customers in the European market that showed that 9 out of 10 customers actually prefer messaging to communicate with businesses. 51% prefer receiving shipping confirmations and delivery notifications through messaging. 53% of consumers are more likely to shop with a business if they can be reached via messaging app. And some more statistics from our other WhatsApp customer success stories that you can also find on our website are 30% increase in overall sales and 20% with higher booking conversions. So the point that we're trying to make with these success stories from the WhatsApp Business API show with making your communications faster, more reliable, and simpler for your customer support agents, they in turn can help increase your sales and booking conversions by simply handling more customer queries. So how can you leverage WhatsApp in your customer journey? Make sure that your customers are taken care of throughout their whole journey with a flawless customer experience. Satisfy all of their needs with direct communication over WhatsApp, reaching your customers where they are on their favorite channel. Once they complete their purchases, make it simpler for them to get in touch with you. This will boost your customer retention in the long term. In the recent months, we have released many new features for our brands using WhatsApp. Now I'm going to walk you through some of these in particular. The first being with Click to Chat. Click to Chat is what you see on the right here on the screen. With Click to Chat, companies can simply add their WhatsApp phone number link to any Facebook or Instagram advertisement. With this feature, you can promote your products and offers and your customers to reach out to your brand at any time. This adds the extra level of interaction to your marketing campaigns. Also, another new feature that WhatsApp has is buttons. So this is a simple way to add conversation starter buttons for key content, letting the customers get product information at their own pace. So they don't feel bombarded, but they can reach out to you if they need help. You can also implement branded stickers. Stickers are a fantastic way to increase your engagement and create branded conversations. With branded stickers, you can create more memorable and marketing for your more memorable communications for your marketing plans with your clients. And customers can take stickers and share them amongst their friends or family on WhatsApp. You can also make use of guided selling. So you can implement buttons to give your customers a path to follow when they're communicating with you. You can even try this out with tyntec here if you take this QR code and scan it with your mobile device. This helps customers reach information that they need fast. You can always provide an escalation button for a support team member if they need to reach out to a human being as well. Help customers with specialized service and advice to help them find the right product during the 24-hour support window. This is started whenever a customer sends a brand a message. Although it's called a 24-hour support window, this session can last as long as a customer keeps sending messages to the company. So with rich media, you can turn your corporate media, such as documents, images, audio files, videos, and even locations can be sent and received via WhatsApp, even with templated messages. The ability to deliver your corporate media via WhatsApp makes Messenger a powerful and interactive distribution channel. So there are going to be certain use cases that will not be permitted with the WhatsApp business solution, and these are but aren't limited to tobacco, alcohol, medicine. However, with the current pandemic crisis, if you are communicating in regards to COVID-19, this might end up not apply to you. The sale of animals and gaming, for example, with casinos, this wouldn't be allowed. So what more do you really need to know? So there are two different types of communications through the API. These are user-initiated conversations and business-initiated conversations. Business-initiated conversations are started with templated messages. These messages are going to be pre-approved from WhatsApp and can be notifications or alerts sent out to your entire customer base. User-initiated conversations are started from the customer inquiring about a product or service. This can be either on your web page, a mobile application, or with click to chat, as mentioned earlier, a Facebook or Instagram advertisement. For an example, if a user clicks on a WhatsApp chat link on our web page, they're going to be redirected to the WhatsApp application on their mobile device. Once a customer sends a message to the business, either by replying to a templated message that you as a brand has sent, or by initiating the conversation with a member of your support team, this opens up what we call a 24-hour support chat window, during which you as a brand have 24 hours to respond freely to the customer without using a templated message. So you can send PDFs, videos, links, and locations as well in these support chat messages, in addition to the templated messages. From a security point of view, our WhatsApp Business API is fully GDPR compliant. Our technical setup and infrastructure adhere to strict privacy regulations within Europe and internationally. With tyntec, our data center is actually hosted in Europe, more specifically in Dortmund, Germany, so this provides you compliance for data protection and security requirements. This brings us to our opt-in. So all customers must opt in with the WhatsApp Business Solution. This means that first, a user must consent to receive messages on WhatsApp by opting them in via a third-party channel. This could be your website, app, an SMS, or even an in-store retail location. However, this needs to be an active opt-in. So what that means is that it needs to be triggered by a user action. This could be such as entering a phone number or checking a box to indicate consent. Later on in the presentation, I'll expand on the opt-ins in just a few moments. So now my colleague Stephanie will explain to you all the various possibilities for integrations with the WhatsApp Business Solution.
Thanks, Ashley. I turned on the camera and so you see who's talking to you. Apologies, like everyone, I'm still working from home. We do shifts in the office, and today is my home office day. I've put together some insights that might be interesting to you because we've been one of the first official providers for WhatsApp, because Ashley mentioned we've been working with Facebook for over 13 years now. However, we see some shifts, especially nowadays during these special COVID-19 crisis. And that has a lot to do that usually, I don't know from which department you are, if you are from customer care or if you're more from the sales or from the marketing department. The very interesting thing I usually encounter when talking about WhatsApp is that instead of thinking just department-wise, usually companies also tackle all the different opportunities they have, which usually involves different departments. So here are just some possibilities how you could use WhatsApp on the website. And as Ashley mentioned, in comparison to email, the opening rates for WhatsApp are spectacular. So email has an opening rate of 40% and it's read within 6 or 7 hours. And WhatsApp has an opening rate of 97% and is read within 3 minutes, which just makes it super practical for things like order tracking, for appointment scheduling, for signups, and also on the website, things like just send me a tutorial. A lot of people, this is what we discover is usually you would say maybe like WhatsApp is just the Generation Z or the younger people, but there is a huge penetration also with older people who basically use it instead of email because it's so much easier for them. So for them to like download something and it's directly on their phone is a huge advantage. Can you give me the next slide, Ashley? Or
Yes.
thanks. Another topic that always comes up with WhatsApp is the question of automation and chatbots, because we've been talking in the difficult thing for all the marketing and salespeople, customer care has been knowing that for a long time, is now that with this channel, customers actually can reply back. So they can contact you as an enterprise, and it's always the question like how you handle this. Chatbots and automation are of a huge advantage because you have a lot of FAQs and a lot of these things can probably be dealt with. However, especially if you talk about artificial intelligence, there are so many programs and providers out there. Dialogflow, probably from Google, is one of the very much advanced systems. And we basically are working with different partners, or if you already say, okay, we're already working with a chatbot provider and we want to integrate it, WhatsApp and the API is made in such a way that it can basically integrate with any system. So you can start just using it with agents. You can start in the beginning, like starting with a chatbot right away, or what a lot of companies do, basically do it in a hybrid way. What needs to be said is that you should always have an escalation path, even though you are using a chatbot. But you basically have all the possibilities, and we see a lot of enterprises when they were introducing WhatsApp already kind of pre-thinking as well. How can we handle automation? It doesn't always need to be a chatbot. You can work with WhatsApp also with a lot of templates. So for example, if you have certain opening hours and someone writes you on WhatsApp on a Saturday and your the stores or the restaurants, we are currently working for a big store chain, and they were worried like what happens if we get contacted on Saturday and the stores are closed. So in these cases, for example, you can have automated templates telling the customer you're currently reaching us within our opening hours. This is also a great advantage to everything concerned live chat, because live chat, if people are in front of the website, they want an immediate response. We are talking about seconds. Plus sometimes problems that while your agents or the chatbot tries to answer, someone already moved to the next page. And this is a great advantage now comparing the different channels that you have in comparison to live chat, because with WhatsApp, people are usually more patient, and if you get a response within the next 2 or 3 hours, it's totally fine. In comparison with call centers, it's we have some pretty neat use cases. For example, when during peaks, when you have long hours where people need to wait, where you can like send them a WhatsApp and ask them to if they want to continue the conversation in WhatsApp, and a lot of customers actually want this. Plus, you have the advantage also while chatting to be able to, and I hope you tried it out. There is this QR code where you can test interactive buttons and where you can see on your own phone how media messages work. And sometimes in a conversation back and forth, we have these neat stories of especially technology. Their Wi-Fi or their router, that just by sending a simple picture you can clarify if you're talking about the right device or maybe if there is another problem. Can you move to the next slide, Ashley?
Yep.
For COVID, I already mentioned it. We have what we experience in general is that currently a lot of enterprises also use the current situation, be it lockdowns, be it more people working from home, to basically take this as an opportunity to do something that they ever always wanted to do. So making the switch to like mobile commerce or adding different channels. And if you are one of these cases and if you have any questions, please contact us afterwards. We did this, for example, for the German Red Cross, where within 5 days we set up a complete chatbot answering questions around COVID-19, where you can get tested using the location feature and all of these. And especially nowadays, WhatsApp is something where you can introduce it in small steps. You can start with an MVP where it's really like out of the box. You can start with a dashboard and then like integrate it slowly more and more in your systems, which is what a lot of enterprises also do. Because if you're wondering, um, or if you're thinking like, I'm really excited about this channel, I love WhatsApp, but will my customers accept it? This gives you the opportunity to maybe just test it also with different target groups for, let's say, like 3 or 6 months. And then when you see, okay, our customers are really using it, then integrating it into all of your systems. Next one, please. This is what I added, and it's something that I mentioned right in the beginning, is that there is a lot of discussion out there currently that was already before COVID, talking about that you're not just considering a funnel anymore, but that it's really a sales flywheel. So there's department separation between this is strictly customer service and this is like the marketing department is not always the correct one. This is an example from a company where they really use WhatsApp in different scenarios, and they also use different systems. So when you ask yourself, like, do we need a dashboard, to which systems to integrate it? Basically, you can integrate it into any system. This company sends out order notifications now via WhatsApp. For this, they use Shopify. But then if a customer replies to this message and says like, no, the package never arrived, it would automatically land into Zendesk because they're using Zendesk for their customer service. Then like this whole follow up after the purchase, asking for like customer satisfaction, offering them, Ashley mentioned before that WhatsApp and marketing is, I wouldn't say tricky, but there are certain rules that you need to stick to. But it can be done. For this, they use a system called Custom.io, and it's integrated into this, and they also use it for reuse. I show this not because you have to start with all these possibilities, but just rather giving you the security and the confidence that it can be integrated into different systems, and that you might want to start with one angle, but already collecting with your colleagues in your enterprise to see how you can really make this a holistic customer journey, which for consumers, they don't see it in departments. They are just like, okay, WhatsApp. And I think this is also speaking a little bit from a marketer at heart. Basically, WhatsApp is the dream come true, because we always talked about a brand like a friend. And with WhatsApp, you would be really up in the address book, like for your customers, like very, very close. WhatsApp is still, if you're using it also privately, it has this very personalized touch, and thus is a great communication channel. I hope, Ashley, can you do the next slide? We also have the QR code at the end, so really try it out, because then you can also see how one of these business profiles looks like. So if you got the message already, and we'll send it again on the follow-up, then you can try it out yourself. You will see that it will immediately have our name in the display, saying tyntec, even though you didn't save us to your address book, and this is how it could also look for your company then. This is basically summarizing all the different options you have. They are endless, but the first decision you should make is between these three. If you have developers, if you're code savvy, there is this developer API. We'll share it with you. You can give it to developers. We had companies who basically like set up everything within 30 minutes. We also have plenty of integration tutorials on how to integrate it with different systems. Then we have a lot of customers who, because you always have to ask your question, if someone replies, if a customer replies, where do these messages land? They don't land on the phone, because this is a good thing about the API, that you really get the messages in whatever system you want. We offer for companies who just want to do a quick start an agent dashboard where you then would receive the messages. All the data is stored in the CRM system. This is why Ashley was able to say earlier on that it's GDPR compliant. Because of this fact, it's not connected to a mobile phone. You don't need. I had enterprises who, in their call center, basically had one mobile phone and they took turns. Those days are over. You can really integrate WhatsApp in whatever system you want. But then, of course, you need to consider, are agents answering these questions, or is a chatbot answering these questions, and where are they received? The data should always be stored, and it can be stored in your CRM system. This is important just if you think omnichannel communication, really understanding, okay, this is when we send out an order notification. Here he called us, so that we really have the full view of the customer. And last thing, this applies for companies like I described before. When they use it with different programs, it basically works a little bit like Zapier. So you have these connector, which for different systems then would connect WhatsApp with these systems. Those are the different options.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. Now for the webinar purposes, I'm going to show my WhatsApp web to describe the different conversation types, and I'll show you how your WhatsApp business profile will look. So I'm just going to switch my screens. So in the case with user-initiated conversations, there's going to be an opt-in message. I've already opted in, so it's not asking for my permission right now. However, the opt-in message will resemble something similar to this notification that you see here. It will appear within WhatsApp. However, there will appear a box that the user must check to give their permission for the brand to contact them on their personal phone number. For business-initiated conversations, you're still going to need to collect their customers' opt-in, but you can do this again by a third-party channel, such as with an email or sending a link, or you can even collect the opt-ins at an in-store location. As you can see on the right here, hang on. As you can see on the right here, this is tyntec's official business account. For each business on the WhatsApp Business API, they will have a business account. There are two different types of these. This is an official business account, and you can see this because it has a green verification mark and the written name of the brand. This provides an extra level of authenticity, and it's not mandatory, but it's usually used for companies with high visibility in the market. A normal WhatsApp business account is not going to have this green mark, and the business name will not be written out. This is a usual option for most companies. If you want to have an official business account with this green verification mark, all you need to do is it's just an additional application process that can be done once your brand has already been approved with tyntec. Facebook will take into consideration your social media presence in addition to your company's use cases when determining if a verified account will suit your business's needs. Also on your business profile, you can have your company information, such as your contact email, your website, and I'd like to highlight that with tyntec, you have the possibility to bring your own number. So if you were to call this is tyntec's Munich office number. I'm not sure if there's anyone in our office right now to answer that, but it is a landline, so you can bring a landline, a toll-free number. It does not have to be a mobile number. This allows your customers to store your company's number in their phone books, and they only need one support number to save for your company. Naturally, there is the option here as well to block or report the business to WhatsApp, and that's why you should really make sure that you're collecting your user opt-ins. Now I'm going to go back to the presentation to just walk you through our pricing plans. So you can try out our QR code feature right now, and you can download the pricing to your mobile device. All you have to do is pull out your camera and scan this code, and it should open up on WhatsApp. What you see on the screen here are our most popular offers amongst our customers. Of course, there is the WhatsApp API plan. It starts at only 89 euros per month in addition to messaging fees, and you can integrate the WhatsApp Business API into your system seamlessly. We offer all of our technical documentation on our website to help guide you through this process. Next, we have our chat dashboard and API access. With the chat dashboard, you have access to WhatsApp in addition to Viber, Facebook Messenger, web chat, and Apple Business Chat. In the near future, you will also be able to access Line, Telegram, and WeChat. This is great to connect to multiple channels for your communications, and it's also a really good option if you do not have the developer skills at your disposal. As a browser-based user interface, you can also access this dashboard on any device, and it doesn't need to be integrated into your systems. And finally, our chatbot solution. So this is great for companies that are looking to take their automation one step further. While automated messages are possible with the API, a chatbot can adapt to your specific customer journey seamlessly. Chat assistants can help rule out the small issues so your support team can handle the more intricate customer inquiries. And I'd like to specify that there is no setup or integration fee with our WhatsApp Business API. It's just a monthly service fee. This makes sure that you as a company have access to all of your new features that are released. And if you do need support, we do offer 24/7 technical support for all of our onboarded customers. So getting back to the different types of conversations, WhatsApp is only going to charge enterprises for when they initiate the communication. The WhatsApp Business API has a transaction fee per message, and this depends on the country prefix of the end user's phone number. So essentially the country code of the number that you're sending to. Tyntec does charge a very small transaction-based service fee on every outbound message, and this is independent of the WhatsApp fees for running and maintaining the solution. Messages sent within a 24-hour support window, which again is initiated when a user replies or sends a message to the brand. These will have no WhatsApp fees. Again, WhatsApp charges only for templated messages, which again are country-based. Here is an example of sending a templated message to Germany. The WhatsApp fee for Germany is 0.077 cents. If you add tyntec's outgoing message fee on top of that, that brings the total cost to around 8 € per templated message. And these will be your notifications, your account updates, payment confirmations, things like this. And as opposed to session messages, which would be during the 24-hour support chat. So you wouldn't have to pay a country code because it is a chat message, and you would just need to pay this outgoing 0.004 euro cents per outgoing chat message within the 24-hour support chat. And here, for example, if you sent out 10 messages to your end user during the 24-hour support window, it would come out to 4 euro cents. So in conclusion, why tyntec? So tyntec gives you access to WhatsApp in a flexible and scalable way. So from letting you bring your own phone number and multiple integration options that are tailored to your needs. These could be pre-built integrations like Salesforce or Zendesk, or our chat messaging dashboard in addition to others such as chatbots. Tyntec has the newest features available, such as QR codes, media message templates, stickers, quick reply buttons, in addition to our integrations and more. As mentioned earlier, tyntec is fully GDPR compliant. As a German company, you don't need to worry about any security regulations, as our data centers are all stored within the EU, more specifically, again, in Dortmund, Germany. You can have access to Viber, Facebook Messenger, and SMS in addition to WhatsApp. So this means that you have the possibility to incorporate SMS as a fallback. This makes sure that those time-sensitive and critical notifications actually reach their final destination. So this would be really important for payment confirmations or delivery notifications. You can also give your customers a branded experience by getting that WhatsApp official business account. And we do offer flexible pricing and transparency. So again, we'd like to thank you all for joining the webinar today. Feel free to ask your questions in the side toolbar and we'll answer them in just a few moments, but I really like to thank you all for joining today. And you can reach out to us. You see our emails below if you have any questions. Again, a version of this presentation is going to be sent to you in a follow-up mail later today. And again, you can scan the QR code there to speak to our WhatsApp support team if you have any WhatsApp questions as well. So yes, feel free to reach out to us. And I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes until we have enough questions to start answering.
And make sure to scan the QR code and test it out yourself. The conversations with WhatsApp. And as an alternative, you find our email addresses below. Feel free to write us any questions that might be coming up. Or if you have a special situation in your enterprise and not sure or need some consulting on how to best implement WhatsApp, we are happy to support and help you with this. I can maybe answer them for everyone. So there was a question, could we use tyntec service alongside another Facebook partner with the same WhatsApp business and number? You can use two service providers. What you can't do is use the same number. Currently, there is no possibility of migrating. Not everyone offers the opportunity to really enable a landline number or a toll-free number. Some providers, for example, basically want you to buy a mobile number from them. But yeah, in general, it's you can use several providers, but enabling the same WhatsApp business number is not possible.
If a client contacts us, for an example, during the weekends, and we can't reach it in the 24-hour time period, do we have to send a templated message in order to continue the conversation?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to shall I?
No, you can answer and I'll read them. Sounds good.
Okay. So yes, this is recommended, especially to keep the conversation open. First of all, it's more customer friendly because then the customer knows, okay, it's currently not being answered, but also the message is not lost. And this helps you to basically keep up the conversation. For this, you don't really need a chatbot. This is just like, those are template messages, super easy to set up. There's no, in the dashboard, it's super easy to install, but it's definitely recommended. First of all, customer service, and second, just to keep the conversation open.
Okay, another viewer asked, the WhatsApp dashboard is initially set up for 4 agents with additional capacity available for an agent by agent fee. Does this system come with a maximum capacity? So you can have as many agents as you like on the chat dashboard. That's not an issue. And another one asked, how much do you charge when I come with my own chatbot with dialogue flow? So,
if you in case you come with your own dashboard, you would just need the API. That's the 89 euros monthly. Or it depends a little bit, the question that I raised earlier on, where if the users reply, like, do you still need to see somewhere the messages? For example, if your chatbot with Dialogflow is not able to answer them. It should be escalated to an agent, and then where is it received? So you can either just work with the API, and we also have on the website, check it out, or if you don't find it, please write us an email. We have a tutorial on how to integrate the API directly with Dialogflow. And some enterprises, just because they want something in between, like a user interface, then also use the dashboard. But if you don't need it, or if you have other systems in place, you can just use the API, and that would be then 89 euros monthly.
Mhm. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for the response and the very informative presentation.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Sorry for spending more of your time, but it's a really exciting topic. I think WhatsApp can be really a communication game changer.
So another person asked, what is the normal approval time? So once you request access, you should receive an answer from WhatsApp if you've been approved, or sometimes not approved, within 24 hours.
And usually the whole setup can be done within 48 hours. If everything, we can afterwards send you an article where all the different steps are described. If you're a special case like the ones Ashley mentioned beforehand, like your, I don't know, government related or pharmacy or something like this, it might take longer, but usually we're able to onboard, and this is our promise, within 48 hours. It always helps, I need to mention, if you already have an existing Facebook Business Manager profile. If you need to set up everything from scratch, it might take a little bit longer. The reason behind it is that Facebook always needs to approve businesses, like they really need to see if those businesses existing. And then this might take a little bit longer, especially in the current situation where they are fighting against hate speech, against fake accounts and stuff like this. But if you already have an existing business manager, everything else fine, we're able to onboard you within 24 to 48 hours.
Do you support Kenyan local phone numbers? Yeah, so you can bring your own phone number actually with the WhatsApp Business API. So that wouldn't be an issue. And we also do have global coverage. So yeah, Kenya is not an issue with the WhatsApp Business API. When I send a message to tyntec's API, what is the maximum delay between sending to tyntec and the message being relayed to the client? Is there a possibility of us sending the message and waiting on a queue for some time?
The interesting thing is why you would like to want it to be waiting on a queue, because usually enterprises want to have a quick throughput. I can send you the exact numbers on throughput, also on percentages. We are pretty quick because we also have a lot of authentication traffic that we're sending for Facebook and for banks and for others, and there every second counts. So it's under 1 second, but I will send you the exact numbers. I need to understand what is the use case for, why would you want to queue it? We do sometimes queuing, like if there would be problems, for example, on the WhatsApp network. There were some, for example, a week ago, we would be queuing messages. If those can't be delivered, you get a status update about this, and then we make sure that the messages are delivered. Or what is also actually mentioned as part of the API is that it has SMS as a fallback. This is important. For example, we have a lot of airlines using it, and notifications like gate changes or boarding passes, or I don't know, train companies using it to telling you like which the train is delayed and which one to make to best take next. There, if you have I don't know, if messages are queued, it can lead to a huge customer frustration. And in this case, you can configure the API yourself, that you say like, if the message couldn't be delivered after so and so many minutes, then please send an SMS as a fallback. So just to make sure that you're providing the highest service quality.
Oh, so this customer
Mhm.
clarified. He said that he didn't want it on a queue, but his main concern was for a message being sent on certain hours and being received by the client in an inappropriate time. So
Yeah.
I hope Steph didn't answer your question.
This question, it can come up a lot. It's really for travel companies sometimes, especially we had this with train companies where sometimes the Wi-Fi connection is bad because you're, I don't know, driving through a lot of tunnels or so. And if you really want to make sure, if you have time critical messages where you want to make sure this needs to be delivered, for example, financial companies also sometimes use it for sending authentication codes, then you can always use the SMS fallback functionality to make sure that the message is being delivered. And yeah, you're also able to stop it. So if you see, like, for example, there should be, which is really happening not very often, but if there would be an WhatsApp outage and messages are queued for too long, you have the ability to delete them, use the SMS fallback, but if not, then they're just delivered after the outage is over, but no messages are lost.
Another customer asked, how soon can I get the WhatsApp Business API in case I apply now? So you can actually have access to WhatsApp within 24 hours from requesting access. All brands need to submit their brand for approval to WhatsApp directly, and then they usually get back to us within 24 hours. And like Stephanie mentioned earlier, we can have brands onboarded within 48 hours after receiving the approval. And what if I get it directly from WhatsApp? What is the advantage? So no brands are working with WhatsApp directly.
So you can't get the WhatsApp Business, what Ashley showed earlier. If you want to use WhatsApp Business, the app, which has limitations, like you can only have maximum 250 contacts, for example, which is far too little for most enterprises. This you can do with WhatsApp directly. There you also don't have the full advantage of GDPR because the data is stored on the app and stuff like this. The API is only accessible via official WhatsApp business providers. And there are very few worldwide. They are listed on the Facebook page, and enterprises can't work with WhatsApp directly. It always goes via a so-called BSP, business solution provider. If you're not sure if the WhatsApp Business app or the WhatsApp Business API is right for you, there's also on our blog a piece about this, like listing all the kind of key factors when you know when it's best to switch.
So another customer asked, we have partners that could provide us with the client's number that we'd notify. Could we get these clients opted in from these partners indirectly through their terms of service or some other form of contact between these partners and their clients? Is this a valid opt-in?
I tell you the consequences. So and there are two sides of it. And there is also on the blog a very extensive piece on the rules for WhatsApp, also telling you that the opt-in policies will be changing on the 7th of July. It will be a little bit easier. Right now, so the opt-in doesn't need to be on the channel, but it needs to be for customers. And also if you think of customer service, like if you put yourself in your customer's shoes, if you would get a message from a company out of the blue and be like, who is this? Did I ever sign up for this? Where is this coming from? Then there is a high likelihood, like Ashley showed you, what consumers can do is that they can just say report or block the content. What WhatsApp, they can't read the messages. Everything is encrypted. What WhatsApp is measuring is how many messages you as an enterprise are sending and how often do consumers block or report you. And if there is a dis ratio, they basically restrict the number of messages you can send on a daily basis. So it's, you were asking me like, would that be okay? And I would need to look at the case. You should make sure that if the customer receives a message, he somehow has the connection, okay, where did I when sign up? And always be aware that you don't want to overdo it, because it might work for some time, but then if too many consumers block you or report you, WhatsApp will basically limit your possibility to use the channel. We sometimes had this with financial companies when they have like sub-providers, so someone is not paying the invoices, then they would transfer it, for example, to a sub-provider. So the opt-in would be passed in. Basically, for opt-in, you also need to check if your current opt-in rules apply to GDPR, then they also apply to WhatsApp. Just put more, a little bit of this customer thinking on top of it, like does the consumer know where it's coming from? And these debt collecting companies, even though I need to say that debt collecting is a critical area where they don't always get allowed access, because WhatsApp wants to create a good customer experience, and asking for invoices to be paid sometimes at the consumer's end is not always the best experience. They usually then open the conversation referring to, we are writing you now, you don't know our name, but you have an open invoice with this and this company. So by this, enabling again the connection that the consumer knows, oh, okay, this is why this enterprise is contacting me.
Another question, what does it take to move from one partner to another? I assume they're with official solution providers.
Okay, yeah, there are two different cases. If you're currently using the WhatsApp Business app, you can switch. We just need to. It's a little bit of a different process, because this number needs to be switched. We usually find a time frame for this, because then for maybe 10 minutes or so, consumers can't reach you on this number. If you want to switch from another provider, for a while there have been pirate APIs out there. If you're switching from a pirate API, like providers who claim to be official, we need to check because sometimes they are also not using proper phone numbers. And this, as I said, migrating the same number from one provider to the other is currently not possible. It's not enabled by WhatsApp. They might want to change it in future, but currently it's not. We have some customers who, when they used WhatsApp beforehand, used a mobile phone number. Then they usually kind of take this as an opportunity to now enable their landline number or their toll-free service number, to basically now start on a clean slate. I hope this answered it. If you have a very special case, please feel free to write me an email, and then I'll look at it in detail. And we usually try to make everything possible. I just don't also want to overpromise.
Yeah, so our emails are listed below on the screen. Again, it's quirk@tyntec.com or stephanie@tyntec.com. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions. And you can also message us on WhatsApp with that QR code that you also see on the screen. And we're more than happy to answer any of your questions. I'd like to thank you all again for joining our webinar. It was a pleasure being able to share WhatsApp with you and all the possibilities that you guys can implement for your company. Oh, there's another question. Hi, do we require a WhatsApp business account credentials to integrate with tyntec? So you can request access through tyntec for the WhatsApp Business API. So you can get your account credentials and set up your business account once you have been approved from WhatsApp.
Maybe explaining this request access. Request access is just this initial check that there are certain industries which are not able to be onboarded. Those are political parties. Those are like if you're selling alcohol or tobacco. Different cases where there are certain WhatsApp legal policies. Those businesses can't be onboarded. It's also sometimes tricky with governments. But if you're passing this test, which is very, very easy, so you're not selling alcohol and tobacco, and then there are no further requirements. The only requirements are that you have a Facebook Business Manager ID. There is a whole blog post which really explains it step by step, where you can also check if you have everything. Then you should have a phone number ready and already think about like how you want your WhatsApp business profile to look at. But we will be guiding you through every step.
Yeah, so you can request access to our website, and all you need to begin is your name, your email, your business name, and when you want to go live. So that's all you need to get started to request access. I need to use WhatsApp and Dialogflow to train 500 users. What do I need? So in the follow-up email that I'll send you, I'll share with you the Dialogflow integration documentation. You also need to request access through tyntec for the WhatsApp Business API. And again, I will send you the link to the form to submit your application as well in the follow-up mail. All right, everyone, that's the end of the presentation or the questions. Again, if you have any others, feel free to reach out to us via email or by sending us a WhatsApp to tyntec. It was a pleasure speaking for you all today, and I just hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon or morning, depending on where you are.
Thank you, Emma.